Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. It is Money Monday, and we're getting ready to go. I mean, traders, we are already waking up to a 266% mover. Yes, a 266% mover is already in our grasp. And what we have right here is AGRI. AGRI has exploded from the price of $4 and has ripped up towards the price of $11. Let's just always play the what if game. What if you had a $4,000 account? How many people here have a $4,000 account and you invested $4,000 into AGRI this morning? Well, you'd get 1,000 shares. Stock went from $4, spiked all the way up towards $11. You are making a $7,000 profit just like that. That's pretty incredible. That's a pretty amazing way to trade, is that these small amounts of money, these small investments can make you absolutely incredible returns in such a short amount of time. This is why we love trading. This is why I love the microcap market. This is what gets me excited and makes me jump out of bed every morning at 7:30 in the morning. It's because we have these chances and we have these opportunities here. So I am very excited for every single person to get ourselves pumped and ready to rock. I'm very excited to see, of course, what we have going on with this day. I'm very excited to see, of course, what the big move is going to be. As of now, I do have a $244 profit. I did short some AGRI as the stock started falling on down. So I am up $244 at this time. Now, obviously, we'd like to try to push this up a little bit higher. Try to get ourselves up to 1,000 or so. But let's just take a step back here for a second and talk about why did AGRI go on the move that it did? Why did AGRI get the rip? Why did AGRI get the run here? So when I take a look at this play, as you guys can see, it's right here over on our news scanner. News scanner, FoxRunner, is going to give us this answer. You could see right at the time of 7 a.m., AGRI came on out, 263% gain, has a 1-star press release. And what does it say right here? It says AGRI is the first to launch its first publicly traded Avalanche-focused company on NASDAQ with $550 million capital raise strategy. Traders, can we please take a step back here for a second? This is so crucial and so important. The reason why I'm saying this is because if you have been trading with me, if you have been trading in the markets, if you've been trading in the microcap world at all, what have you noticed? You have noticed that cryptocurrency press releases have been going absolutely insane. Some of the biggest spikes, some of the biggest rips, some of the biggest runs, some of the biggest climbs have all been from cryptocurrency press releases. We have seen, hey, we're going to have a private placement of $550 million into Solana. Hey, we are going to be the first company to invest $500 million into Avalanche. We are going to take again $300 million and invest it into Bitcoin. We are going to take again $22 million and put it into XRP. Those have been the press releases that we have been seeing every single day that have been leading towards some of the best rips, the best spikes, the best climbs, the best moves, the best overall volume in this entire market. So the thing is, traders, you definitely definitely want to be a person who has, let's say, these keywords on watch, like if it's Avalanche, if it's Solana, if it's any of these. So again, on your FoxRunner scanners, make sure you guys are typing out your different cryptocurrencies, because these are the ones that have gone on some of the biggest breakouts, some of the best climbs, and some of the best rips. Let's just take a little trip here. You know what were some a great spike over on Friday? We had AGMH. That was a really nice spike over on Friday. If we take a little bit of a step back right here, we had AGMH. That was good. $2 all the way on up towards $18. That was absolutely insane. What was AGMH's press release? I'm not even sure if this was a crypto press release, but I believe it may have been. Or actually, AGMH didn't even have any sort of news, had a 6K filing behind it. But regardless, every single trader should just be saying, hey, we definitely want to be aware of all the crypto press releases. So if I were you, notice what I have right here. I have Solana. I have Ethereum. I obviously have Bitcoin up here. Avalanche led to a big time press release. So again, go to your keywords. I'm going to type in like XRP, right? XRP. Let's just go ahead, put it in, whatever one you want. Let's just put a star next to it. XRP. Let's put this in this nice, blue color, and let's turn on the voice alerts, and let's go right here. So now whenever the word XRP comes out, it's going to be highlighted in blue. It's going to stand out for us, and we'll also hear a voice alert for it as well. So again, this is how I never miss any sort of plays. Whenever I have private placements have been, again, very good keywords. I want to be aware of it. Ethereum have been very good keywords. I want to be aware of it. Solana. Notice again how my scanner is giving me a lot of cryptocurrency press releases, because these are some of the best ones so far today. Let's just see if there's any other, cryptocurrency press releases today. We have AGRI, our Avalanche press release. That's the one that was very important. We have PLTS. PLTS is initial public offering. So that's just, again, an IPO. First time, again, PLTS is available for us to trade. Let's just see if there's anything else right here. PLTS. How's that one doing? PLTS basically went on a monster spiking and then gave everything on back. What else do we have here? We had BOXL. BOXL had an 8K filing last night, or earlier this morning, excuse me. BOXL's not bad. It's just slowly creeping its way on up. So BOXL slowly creeping its way on up. I just want to make sure we're not missing anything. FLGC, DeFi. So again, FLGC talking about, a collaboration with Treasure Accelerator deal. Let's just see if FLGC is looking good in any way. FLGC, a couple little spikes, then came back on down. I mean, this stock was all the way up towards $100 this morning. Stock went from $26 on Friday to nearly $100 to now $61. This is still a pretty big play. What else do we have here? QLGN. QLGN came out at 643 this morning, an investment of $41 million into its crypto business. So again, another one. Let's see how QLGN was looking this morning. QLGN earlier this morning, and it's still not too bad right now, but it is fading and falling and definitely getting weaker at this moment. So I don't think there is anything that is insane right now other than AGRI. We have all of our top gainers. We have all of our top movers. We just went over AGRI, FLGC. We see again MSTR. We see again some of these other plays, and MSTR is a cryptocurrency stock. We got everything we need at this moment. What I think we want to do is turn our focus back over to AGRI and see if AGRI is going to get any sort of squeeze and how we can be able to make some money. Because that's why you guys are here right now. But what I always want you guys to understand, the number one thing that I want you guys to focus on with every single, morning is news leads to spikes. Spikes lead to you making money. You have to, again, follow the breadcrumbs. If you know what hot press release is going to come on out, you are going to be able to make the majority of your cash. I personally, traders, and it blows my mind, I think 99% of traders should be done trading by the time of 9:30. You should be, if you are a day trader, the majority of the money is made in pre-market. The majority of the money is made now. For every single person that sleeps in and again goes, oh, it's 10 o'clock. What's everyone doing today? What's up? The thing is, guys, you can't be doing that. You have to wake up and see the news come out, because it is first come, first served. When you, again, find a hot press release, you get in early. Let's just imagine if you were awake this morning on AGRI. Imagine if you didn't sleep in the last 40 minutes. Imagine if you said to yourself, you know what, AGRI, I'm going to watch to see if there's any sort of news that comes on out. And all you do, it's very simple. You just have the FoxRunner news scanner. Again, you just stare at this at 7 a.m. 7 a.m., you're again watching. Okay, boom, AGRI. AGRI comes on out. You are getting involved on this play right here. Not only there, it's also, again, telling you right here, AGRI. That's the best one out of that rip. So the thing is, as long as you're awake, you're seeing this at 7 o'clock. You're seeing this at 7:01. You're seeing this as, again, the stock's going from $4 to $6 to $8, whatever. right? Even if you guys follow me over on Twitter, right? If you guys follow me over on X, I try my best to do so many free alerts for you guys as well. So again, even if you guys are following me over on X, AGRI launches its first publicly traded Avalanche-focused. What time was this at? This was at 7:03 a.m. So even if you guys are following me over on X right here, what time is 7:03? That's when the stock's at $7.32 before it runs up towards $11.36. So yes, these stocks move quick. Yes, there's going to be a lot of attention. Yes, there's going to be a lot of hype. Yes, again, plays are going to be moving fast. But this comes down to you being an experienced trader, learning how to move with this momentum, learning how to trade the right way, being able to put yourself in on these positions very nicely and very quickly, right? So AGRI, this has been a hot play so far. I do have 2,000 shares that I'm able to short. It cost me $30. I am up $230 so far today. I would like to be able to make, anywhere between $700 to $900 on this day. That would be, again, a great target for myself. I would love to be able to make anywhere between $700 to $900. I think that would be absolutely beautiful for all of us. And let's just see, if AGRI could be able to maybe get some sort of squeeze back above $10. This is the play the majority of traders are focused on, though. This is the play that the majority of traders are looking at. This is the play that the majority of traders are saying, hey, you know what, Dek? I want to go ahead and make some cash. I want to go ahead and make some money. Let's see if we could be able to squeeze back above $10. So if this thing can get back above $10, hey, the market's going to wake up. Day traders are going to wake up. People are going to get excited. So let's see what else we have going on, though. At this time, is there any sort of big news? Well, we do know last week the S&P 500. We hit some brand new record highs. The S&P 500 has been doing absolutely fantastic, and we did cut rates. So we're cutting interest rates. For anyone who does not understand, says, Dek, why is cutting interest rates good? When we cut interest rates, it means people's mortgages are no longer as expensive. They could still be expensive, but they're not as expensive. We're not throwing away dead money. When you take out a 10% interest, you have to pay again what your car or what your house or what your mortgage is, plus 10%. So that on that interest, on that loan, on that monthly payment. So the thing is, what if all of a sudden we have every month you have to pay $2,000 to your mortgage, and now instead you only have to pay $1,500 for your mortgage? Well, now you have $500 of free money. Now that $500, guys, guess what? Some people might save it, but the majority of people are going to spend it. A majority of people are now saying, hey, I have an extra $500. I'm going to go buy a MacBook. Okay, guess what? Apple stock can rise. Hey, you know what, guys? I have an extra, $500. I saw Meta come out with those cool glasses. I'm going to go buy some Meta glasses. Okay, Meta stock can rise. When we cut interest rates, we are, again, making the American people not have to pay as much money on interest on their credit cards, on their car loans, on their home mortgages, on their student debt, on their whatever. So that means, again, there's more money in your pocket. When there's more money in your pocket, that means there's more spending. When there's more spending, there's more stimulation. When there's more stimulation, we get this explosion, baby. You know how it works. So the thing is, we have the S&P 500 exploding continuously up towards these new record highs. And the S&P 500 still spiking, still moving, still getting a little bit more hype. So, SPY, absolutely great, absolutely awesome. And we want to see if the S&P 500 is going to be able to continue to keep pushing on up here higher and higher and higher. So the SPY is doing very well at this time, still hitting some new highs. S&P 500 cutting interest rates. And you know what's the craziest thing? And I know I brought this up a million times. This is supposed to be right now one of the worst months of the year. I think that's maybe what blows my mind the most out of all of this at this moment is let's just go over to S&P 500's performance. How crazy is this to think about, traders? At this moment, we are supposed to be seeing the S&P 500 have its worst month. So on average, since 1928 to 2023 and all the way into 2025 that we have now, we do have the S&P 500 have its worst performing month every September. September, we're known to drop 1.17%. September from 1980 to 2018 dropped 0.7%. September from 1996 to 2024, you could see drops over 1%. It doesn't matter what image I click, they all have September being in the red. Now, the thing that is pretty interesting is right now, the S&P 500, where are we? Ladies and gentlemen, the S&P 500 over the last, let's say, 30 days, what are we seeing at this time? Let's go SPY. And let's see. S&P 500 performance over the last 1 month. We are actually up nearly 3%. This is not normal. Guys, usually we have a 1% drop. Instead, we're up almost 3%. 2025 so far, year to date, the S&P 500 is up almost 14%. And you know what's even crazier here? Is that we are about to go into the best 3-month spree. For anyone who does not realize, October, November, December is usually the 3 best months of the year. Yes, April's pretty good, but October, November, December, it's kind of like that trifecta, that bang, bang, bang as we end off the year. So are we about to finish the S&P 500 off on another incredible year? Are we about to finish the S&P 500 off on another 15, 18, 20% rise on the S&P? Now, team, you know what's even crazier is that I'm up over 30% on my long-term investments. And that's because I did buy in on April, as you know. So what we see right here is from where we ended off last year to where we started this year. We started this year over on the S&P 500, somewhere right around that 590 mark. Where did we jump in over on Tradecaster? Where did we get ourselves involved in? We got ourselves in at 480. So we didn't get ourselves involved at 590. We got ourselves up at 480. We literally jumped in on Monday, April 7th, the lowest day of the year. We pulled the trigger on all of our long-term investments. This is one of the best years I've ever had. I'm up over 6 figures this year just on long-term investments because we did jump in on that absolute bottom. So that has been incredible. That has been amazing. Seeing the S&P 500 still continuously pushing itself on up. And we'll see how much more we have left in the tank over on the SPY here, because the S&P 500 has been incredible so far. Now, what else has been extremely hot at this moment, traders? Well, if we again take a look, we know AGRI is our top dog at this moment. We do have, of course, this little bull flag pattern or this little wedge that we're trying to form. QLGN, as we already talked about, had a press release this morning over on QLGN. QLGN's press release was a strategic investment of $41, was a cryptocurrency press release. We also had BOXL. BOXL had the 8K filing last night, or excuse me, over on Friday. No issues with that in any sort of way. FLGC did have a collaboration with Zero Stock, and we did have PLTS, which was the brand new IPO. So again, every single press release or every single stock this morning did have some sort of news, aka some sort of reason on why the stock went on its rip and run. And again, it's all right here if you guys want to be able to read it, get caught up with it. But there's some other things that I do want to talk about that I think are very important right now. One of those very important things that I think, a lot of traders are missing at this time is this right here. It says quantum stocks are making the biggest moves we have seen yet. Traders, quantum is kind of one of those controversial investments. Now, why is it controversial? Because people, again, I will say both sides. So please don't get mad if I say the opposite side you are, because I'm going to say both sides. But quantum stocks are rising. Quantum stocks are hot. Quantum has been one of the best investments of 2025 so far. Now, why? Well, traders, we are seeing developments. We are seeing Meta, Microsoft, Google, Apple, all working on these quantum computing chips. We have advanced more over the last 3 years in quantum computing than we have over the last 100 years. We are seeing new chips come on out. We are seeing real-world adoption. We are seeing brand new partnerships that just came out at the quantum computing. So the thing is, traders, people are getting very excited about this. Now, at the other end, let's think about the other end here. The other end is quantum computing doesn't work yet. It has not solved anything for us. Yes, we have a chip that does have quantum computing. Yes, we have the idea of how it works, and we're trying to have these very fragile QBTs, be able to not explode and be able to work, and we're getting there. But how long is that going to take? Is that going to take another 6 months or 5 years or what some say 20 years, 30 years? But at the other end, you could say, well, Dek, it doesn't matter if it's 30 years away. Guess what? People are going to buy it in the expectations. The stock market is forward-looking. I don't care if it's 30 years, even 60 years. I'm buying it because it has the hype. So is the hype going to sustain? Is the hype going to die off maybe after a year or 2 years from now when we still don't actually have quantum computing? No, Dek, it's everyone buying in early, hoping that it does turn into something. Well, traders, if you want to think about it, maybe as cryptocurrency, right? We had a lot of cryptos for a very long time. Basically, people saying this will have real world adoption. This will be used as mainstream. This will be. Traders, let's not kid ourselves. Is Bitcoin valuable? 100%. Is it used a lot? 100%. But I will still say 99.9% of people don't actually pay for anything in Bitcoin. They actually don't use Bitcoin in their everyday life. They still use their real money, their currency, their USD. Does that mean Bitcoin has no value? No, Bitcoin definitely does have value. It's an incredible asset. It's an incredible investment. At the same time, traders, do we use it nonstop to buy our groceries or this or that? Most people are going to be saying no. At the same time, you could say about that quantum computing. Hey, quantum computing's not actually here yet. Okay, but you know what? I think it will turn into something. I think it will be real world adoption. But if you guys have not seen, we do have quantum computing stocks on a generational run. So basically, at this moment here, team, we are seeing a lot of quantum hype. Quantum hype is really taking on over. And the big reason of this hype is this right here. The Quantum World Congress in 2025, which wrapped up on September 19th, generated significant excitement with announcements like IONQ's acquisition and D-Wave's expansion into the Asia-Pacific market, where bookings jumped to 83%. D-Wave's inaugural QBTS in Japan of 2025 conference on September 17th and 18th spotlighted quantum AI applications, driving QBTS up 19%. RGTI also secured $5.8 million in U.S. Air Force contracts, amplifying real-world adoption. So guys, guess what we have right now at this moment? We are having at this time, we have real world adoption. Right now at this time, we have partnerships. Right now at this time, we have $5.8 million U.S. Air Force contracts. People are getting excited about this. So what do we have? QUBT over the last 12 months is up 3,200%. QBTS is up 170. IONQ is up 150. RGTI up 200%. Rigetti spaghetti, baby. QUBT, take a look at this weekly chart. Weekly chart, absolutely explosive. Stocks down from $2 to $23. RGTI, $2 all the way up to $28. IONQ from around $10 to $70. Excuse me. QBTS from around $2 to $26. So you can see how crazy quantum's been. And it doesn't matter what quantum stock you buy in, right? It doesn't really matter. Every single one of these quantum stocks traders have been so hot. So all these quantum plays here have just been ridiculously hot, and these quantum plays are incredible investments right now. But again, the reason why I said it's a little controversial, some people say it's not here yet. But maybe, again, some of the best investments in the world are controversial investments. Guys, I would still say Bitcoin is a controversial investment. I would still say there are still tons of people who are non-believers and say, oh, I hate this. This is going to fail. This is going to go yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? There's still people that say that, right? The thing is, people will always doubt if it's QBTS. People could always doubt space companies, like if it was Rocket Lab. People could always doubt next form of transportation, like those eTolls, if it was, JOBY. People will always doubt whatever. The thing is, there will always be doubters. So if you are a big quantum person, stick with it. If you're a big quantum person, start loading up even more. If you're a big quantum person, you could say, hey, you can keep doubting. I am making so much money at this time. Just last year, 12 months ago, IONQ is at $6. It's now at $70. So we can obviously see how much, how awesome, how big, how great these moves are, right? Absolutely insane here. Traders, what else do we have here? Woo! BOXL just started getting a rip right now. BOXL here, team. Just a little heads on up. Did have an 8K filing last night. Did get a little bit of a move. Here you go, guys. BOXL filed an 8K. This file, was filed 2 days ago, September 19th, which was Friday after the stock market closed. Let's just see what it says. It says on September 17th, immediate company registered public accounting firm decision to change the independent registered public accounting firm was made and audited. I'm just trying to see right here if it's anything too big. I mean, it's an 8K filing. Doesn't seem like it's anything amazing, to be honest with you. But guess what? BOXL has hype. BOXL does have an explosion. BOXL does have a move, and BOXL is starting to get a little bit of a rip and a run right here. So, BOXL, do we want to keep our eyes peeled on it? 100%. Stock is starting to fade on down. Did run on up towards around the price of 760. 760 starting to drop itself right back on down here. Let's see if this play is going to actually be able to hold. Is this one going to have shorts towards it? Also, what's AGRI doing? AGRI, if we go back over, AGRI unfortunately getting a little bit weaker right now. AGRI, guys, is getting a little bit weaker. It's kind of losing that higher low, and it's more building. It's not really building that higher low. It's more building lower highs. It's kind of going in this direction right here, which definitely shows some weakness at this time. BOXL, let's just see if there's any shares available to short right now. Let's say, Dek, you want to get 2,000 shares. Inquire about 2,000 shares. Locate 2,000 shares. How much is that going to cost me? Ugh, a little bit too expensive for my taste. $342. $342 for, again, BOXL to be able to short 2,000 shares. I'm not going to pay that fee. It's a little too much. So, I'm not going to be touching that one. What I will say, however, is again, AGRI, you can play this. Now, we have brand new news coming out in 4 minutes. AGRI, though, traders, you guys can see we touched the purple line, we've been rejected. Touch the purple line, we've been rejected. Touch the purple line, we've been rejected. Touch the purple line, we've been rejected. Next touch of the purple line is right around $9. If you can get up a near 885 or higher, AGRI could be a nice little short. That's just because all you're trying to do is just follow the game plan, follow the pattern, right? When I trade, I try to make my trades very obvious. I don't want anyone to sit here and say, I don't know how he did that. Was he doing math problems? Was he working algorithms? Like, how was he figuring out how? Guys, I'm not doing that. To be frank with you, if you're saying, Dek, how do you trade? I look for the obvious answer. We have been rejected here, here. We were rejected here. We're rejected here. I'm going to make the assumption, and yes, not the guaranteed fact, but the assumption that we are going to be getting rejected in between these areas. That's where I believe we're going to fade and fall, somewhere right around this mark, because that's where it's happened over and over and over again. So again, AGRI is starting to get weaker, but if this stock ever pops on up towards around $9, that's the easy short. We did get up towards 860, starting to get a little bit weaker, and we might fall all the way back down to 720. So just keep that in mind. Keep that on your back burner right now here, team, to see what we could possibly do over on that play. Other than that, we got about 2.5 minutes until, again, we get this real party started. And again, people start waking on up. We get the 8 a.m. wave. And hopefully, again, we get something big and fast right at 8 a.m. But ladies and gentlemen, I need every single person at this moment to smash that thumbs on up. If you guys are watching over on YouTube, Twitter, StockTwits, if you guys are watching over on, again, MySpace, Facebook, if you guys are watching over on, again, Kick or Twitch, if you guys are watching, I don't know where you're watching. Just go ahead and hit that thumbs up, hit that like, hit that tweet, whatever it is. But I am so glad, so happy that every single person is here, ready to rock and roll on this day. 7:58 in the morning, traders. We got 2 minutes until the market opens on up, and we will be all set, ready to rock and roll. So let's do exactly that, getting ourselves ready to go here and seeing where this day is truly going to bring us. 7:58 in the morning here, traders. I want to see if we get any sort of big rips and runs. I would love to jump in on a stock, right when a hot press release comes on out. We can go ahead and make some nice money and be able to make some nice gains here. Hit that tweet, baby. All right, 7:58 in the market. While we got 2 minutes here, let me again share some links with the squad, links with every single person so that you guys are all good, ready to go. Number one, Dek, I want to use the same broker that you use. If you want to use the same broker that I am using, you guys can use it right here. I'm going to drop a link over in the YouTube chat. This is Cobra. Cobra is my broker. They are, again, absolutely fantastic. They allow you to short on nearly every single play so that you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll. You get tons of discounts, 50% off for life, all that good stuff. So make sure that you guys are all set. Also, if you guys want the news scanner, probably my favorite tool out there, you guys can get a free 30-day pass or just use the free version over on FoxRunner. So again, here's the link over on FoxRunner so you guys have that so that you guys are all ready to rock and roll. Also, last but not least, you guys can also see my charting. All of my charting and everything that I have, that is over on Trade Ideas so that you guys can go ahead and use Trade Ideas right there. Guys, we have about 20 seconds before this market opens on up. Let's get ourselves pumped. Let's get ourselves excited. Let's get ourselves ready to make this money. I'm ready to trade. If we see anything good, AGRI, still that other option as well. Wanted to post some links there for you guys so that everyone's all ready to rock. And here we go. In 3, 2, 1, everyone watch the news scanner here. We might have a potential play for us coming up in just a moment. I'm going to be listening for voice alerts. I know you guys won't be able to hear the voice alerts. I will. So I'll be kind of saying them out loud to you as I hear them. No news just yet. Here comes a little bit of news. We got phase trial, phase 3 trials, ADM trials. Hold on. We got to see. We got to stick with this quick. ADVM. Nope. Patent protection. Phase 3 trials. Cancer trials. We have partnership. BCDA. Solana press release also just came on out. BCDA positive clinical trials. We have a Solana win over on FORD. Looking for the one that's going to get all the volume here. Looking for the one that's going to take on off. ALL2 has, again, presents new phase 2 trials. So showing overall survival data. That's always a good press release. These type of plays. Let's see which one catches the fire, though. ALLR, watching to see if that one gets any sort of hype. BCDA, watching to see if that one starts moving. We have an agreement right here. UCAR. Another phase press release. Guys, we have a lot of news right now. A lot of news is coming out at this moment. We're trying to see which one's going to catch the fire. COYA. No crazy hype just yet. We have a lot of news. I'm just kind of going through each one of them, seeing if we have that big green candle on any of them. ADVM, answers no. ADN. ADN seems like it's starting to creep its way on up. Guys, ADN trying to creep its way up just slightly. ADN right here talks about deliver state of fuel under the contract with U.S. Department of Defense, but it doesn't really have any sort of big big volume. There's no big volume right here over on ADN. We did have GRCE, which talks about an upcoming phase 3 trials. ONCO had some phase news, had a quick little spike from $3 to $3.80. ONCO is moving. Keep ONCO on watch, guys. ONCO is at least pretty active. Little heads up for you guys. ONCO might start taking the volume. ONCO, guys, did come out right here. Did come out with a press release talking about cancer. So ONCO and its subsidiary, a licensed manufacturing, enabling independent to produce key regenerates on the pancreatic cancer. So basically, they are having some positive data over on their cancer studies. Little heads up for every single person. ONCO might get some hype. So ONCO is the only one right now that I see a little bit of a buying volume on. ALLR has, again, phase 2 trials, but again, that's not even going too crazy right now. We have an agreement press release over on UCAR. Launches phase 2 over on COYA. I think right now, guys, we got to stick with maybe ONCO as the most active play right now. So if you had to ask me, hey, Dek, what's the hot one at 8 o'clock? So far, it's ONCO. Not saying it's going to be the best one. Not going to say this is going to be the most incredible play I've ever seen in my life. But what I will say is ONCO is the stock as of now that at least has the best chance to start going on a crazy rip and run. Okay, probably has the best chance to go on that rip and run. But, I mean, look at this team. As fast as this one is going on up, it's also coming right back on down. So ONCO, we don't need that one just yet. Let's see, BKKT starting to get a little buying volume. BKKT, what's going on over here? Over on BKKT right now, traders. This one's waking on up. So BKKT, this play right here did come out with accelerate growth strategy. So they have a new CEO for a growth strategy. All right, so BKKT. It's not really, again, a hot press release, to be honest. They're saying we have a new CEO looking for, again, new growth strategies. All right, here, traders. People are trying to move over towards, again, BKKT at this time. Let's, again, watch to see how high this is going to go. We have the 200-day moving average. 200-day moving average, guys, is right next to $15. Was at $15.03. BKKT, let's see if there's any shares available to short because stock's getting a little overextended. So what we're going to do this together here, traders, as always, is we are going to go over towards a BKKT. We're going to look for 1,000 shares over on BKKT. Go to inquire all. Let's go over. Let's look for 1,000 shares. Locate lowest. Click cancel here. It's going to cost us 40 cents. Basically nothing. Let's go ahead. Let's accept that. We do have now BKKT. 1,000 shares for 4 cents. Barely costed anything. Stock did go from $10, ripped all the way up towards around $15. We are in a 1-minute time frame right here looking at the most active stock of this morning. And now, again, we can kind of break it on up into 250 share increments here. Let's see if we can maybe get a little bit of a bounce back up towards like $13.90 or $14. Look at this team. Look at that thing. Just again, spiked right back on up here. Trying to get a little bit of crazy hype. I'm thinking about just doing 250 shares. I'm going to do 250 shares here, guys. Go very small, but at least just get myself involved in the game. 250 shares, very small, very little. I'm in right now at the price of $14 on the dot. We just hit 15 bucks. If this thing squeezes 15, I will have to get out. I do like $15 holding up a strong resistance, so I am going to add slightly. 500 shares total at the cost basis of $14.26. $14.26, 500 shares. I'm in on this play right now. Let's see if I can make like 500 bucks. See if we can crash on down to like a $13 area or so. So I am in on the stock at this moment. You guys can see my live P&L right above me. And let's see if $15 $15 is going to hold up as resistance. 500 shares on this play, currently down again $290 over on this trade. I'm in at 14.26 cost basis with again 500 shares here. Let's see if $15 can hold, and we'll go from there. Little heads on up, IMNN. Oop, guys, this stock can't get squeezed out of this. Might have to get out of this play if it goes too big. If it goes back underneath 15, I'm okay. Back under 15, I'm okay. I'm not going to add on this play though right now. Stock is still looking too good, too strong. Don't want to see it randomly shoot on up. Back under 15 though, I'll keep on holding. So under 15, I will hold. Keeps going above 15, I will get out, move on from the play. Just a little heads up for you guys. Got to move on from this one. Moving on from that play, going a little bit too big, going a little bit too crazy right now. Dek, would you add on to this play? Back underneath 15. Man, it just, again, as fast as this one goes on up is as fast as this one goes on down. Look how crazy this play can be. So again, we just got all the way up towards 1650 there for a second over on this one. This one's a fast, crazy mover right now. Don't you guys agree? So we have a lot of crazy action over on this play. I kind of got out at the bad time over on, again, BKKT. And BKKT traders, stock's gone from $10 all the way up to $16. I really don't think it's the best press release in the world, which is why I kind of want to attack it on the short side and still thinking, hey, as long as the stock stays underneath like that $15 region, it's still a pretty good shorting opportunity. So you know what? I'm going to still, again, stick with my gut, get back in on this play, see if this one is going to dump back on down. So I'm going to get back in on this play. See if this one is going to crash. I do think it will crash. And again, try to make back that $1,000 loss right here. We might get little pops here and there, back up to like 1520, 1530. But I like the idea of seeing this one fade and fall. It just had a nice little rip and run. I'm looking to be able to make a little bit of money back over on this play. $15 is going to be some strong top resistance. I'm just doing, again, small little entries at a time of 250 shares. I am going to look to jump in, hold this, and as long as it doesn't hit a new high of the day, I will continue to hold this. So right now here, team, we have this play. Watching to see what we can do at this one. And I want to see if we get a nice little dump back on down here. Watching to see if we get that nice little dump back on down in that weakness. Dek, what are you in at? I'm in at 1440. Wow, we're hitting another new high right here. Got to be careful on this one. Got to get out. Got to get out. Not going to hold this one. Got to get out of this play here. Got to move on from that play. All right, 2 trades, 2 attempts. And whenever I trade 2 stocks and lose, I move on from it. I am crossing BKKT off my list. I am not going to touch this play and, again, get caught up in this play if I take any sort of loss. So, again, right now, BKKT, I went after it twice. I lost twice. I lost $2,000 over on this trade. I'm currently down $2,000. I made 244, then lost 2,000. I am not going to, again, keep going after this play. If, again, it just seems like every time I pulled the trigger, I lost. Pulled the trigger, squeezed on up. Pulled the trigger, squeezed on up. BKKT, stock's up 54%. Did again hit, did go from $10 to $18. Went after it twice. Lost both times. Showing again my $2,000 loss. Let me again show you guys my entries and exits as well so that you guys can clearly see them. Let me again bring that on up. Here is my P&L right here, so that you guys have it. So here's my P&L over on these 2 plays. BKKT, Dek, where'd you short this play? 1450, got out at 1640. Dek, where'd you short this play? $14, got out at 1650. I keep getting in both times. $14 up to 16. $14 up to 16. So again, both times I got squeezed out of that play. That's okay. Again, I just got to be able to make that money back. Got to get myself back involved on a good play. Now, what's a good play I can get myself involved in? Well, we do know AGRI is getting very weak at this moment. That one could easily start fading and falling. BKKT, I lost twice on in a row. I don't want to revenge trade or get emotional on that trade. So again, I kind of want to stay away from that one at this moment. But I cannot chase that one. I just, unfortunate, guys. I can't, again, I hate shorting plays that I lose twice on a row on, just because even though you might not seem like it, you probably still will get like emotional in some way. You might get some sort of revenge trading in some sort of way. But is there any other news that is spiking right now? I don't think so. I think we had, again, here's BKKT right here, the 8 o'clock press release. And again, this isn't a big press release, to be honest with you guys. BKKT is right on the news scanner. BKKT, 58% gain. Appoints Mike Alfred to board to accelerate growth strategy. It's just, again, it's not anything too wild. It's not anything too crazy. But at the same time, it's what caught the fire right there. So now, again, BKKT starting to, again, come on down here slightly. We will keep our eyes peeled on that one. LASC also trying to get a little hype. MBX, that was from 7 a.m. No, nothing at 8 o'clock, guys. 8 o'clock is BKKT. That was the mover so far. A lot of traders, again, still looking over on that play. I'm going to take a little step back here. I'm not going to force and put myself in any sort of bad position. I know I can easily make back $2 grand, but you know what I can't make back in a day? I can't usually make back 6 grand, 7 grand, 9 grand. That's where, again, it hurts a little bit too much. So the thing is, went after some shorts, looking for, again, some $15 resistance. $15 broke both times. Not going to hold and hope. Well, Dek, if you kept on holding, you'd be back in the green on both of them. You can't do that. I cannot see the future. So if I jump in at 1450 or 1480 or whatever it may be, I do have to say to myself, hey, you know what? I jumped in at these areas looking for the rejection. It broke on up. It squeezed. The last thing I want to do is hold it if it goes up to 20, 25, 30. That's where I could be in a lot of trouble, right? That's where I could really be hurting myself. And that's where I think I could be in a bad position. So no putting myself in any sort of unnecessary bad plays. Want to make sure we're doing things right and want to make sure we're trading the right way here. So BKKT, staying smart. What about AGRI right now? Little heads on up here, traders. If we want to look for a little bit of a short, we could still look for that possible AGRI touch. You know why AGRI? Because again, AGRI here, traders, this is one that has been purple line rejected, purple line rejected, purple line rejected. We could possibly see an 825 purple line rejection again. That's definitely a possibility. If we wanted to look for something right around that area, I would probably say, 830 or so. That would be a little bit better. But I'm down to get after it again here. Have a little bit, because I don't want to get squeezed if we get that little pop right here. Got to be careful with that little squeeze and pop, because again, AGRI hitting that purple line, it would be rejection, 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 rejection. Is there a chance that we could possibly squeeze and break above 830? And then again, shorters could get hit. Now, if it does squeeze and break 830, you could go on the long side. Does have rejection back on down towards around 730. IMNN starting to get a little bit of buying volume. Yeah, IMNN, little bit of buying volume. Does have, again, the press release right here. IMNM, currently up only about 10%, though. Says, again, talks about phase 2 trials. Cancer demonstration over on phase 2. So it has, again, those phase 2 trials here. But yes, traders, I am currently down in the red at this moment. Down, again, $2,000 total at this time. So we got to be able to make that back. We got to be able to get ourselves back involved over on these plays, pull the trigger, get after it, and be able to, again, get ourselves back into the green. So far, again, down $2 grand. Don't want to, again, hurt myself and put myself down anything, more. But at the same time, I want to be able to make it back. Every win I show, every loss I show. I don't hide trades. I make sure, again, you guys see everything I'm doing. So right now, team, still have AGRI, still trying to, again, just set itself up in this little tiny move right here. Room to fall back down to 727. If you guys did just pull the trigger right around 810, it's been a decent entry. We do have 830 coming up next, and maybe we get even a little bit of news out around that 815-ish mark. But really, the best play so far was the AGRI rip on up, and now, again, BKKT. Is that one starting to drop a little bit? Starting to definitely fade down a little bit here over on BKKT. But that's kind of more like a personal rule. My rule is I don't like losing on a play twice. If I start losing on a play twice, I kind of just like walk away from it. QLGN, PLTS. Let's see what else we have here, team. BOXL getting a little bit of hype. BOXL, little bit of hype. And AGRI still just kind of getting that little fade. And again, AGRI is getting very tight inside this wedge between the VWAP and, again, this downtrend. Pretty soon you are going to see some sort of move, though. Pretty soon, guys, you are going to see some sort of dramatic move, if that's over on AGRI on the upside or the downside, just because there is that squeezing potential right here over on AGRI. Next chance to be able to make some money. Sometimes we see a couple press releases come through around 815. So sometimes we do get a couple press releases coming through right around 815. Let's just see if we do get anything right at 815 here. Here, I had one SSKN. SSKN reviewed a, let's just see if this one, oh, we also have a, SSKN just came out with a little bit of hype. We also just have this, ASST and SMLR talks about, announces a Bitcoin treasury merger. One of these plays definitely could get hype right here. ASST not getting a lot of hype. What about SMLR? SMLR not really getting too much hype, but we are having, again, announces Bitcoin Treasury merger right there. Could SSKN get a little bit of momentum? I can imagine SSKN. Guys, SSKN trying to spike up a little bit now. Take a look over on SSKN right now, trying to get a little bit of hype. That one just came out at 8:15. Does have a good press release talking about demonstrating success in its response rates. So high watch over on that play. That one could definitely start getting a little bit of momentum. About these plays, again, it comes out with hype. Comes out with a reason for traders to buy. Now it just comes on down to, is there going to be enough hype for this play to start spiking? Or are we going to start seeing enough, momentum, right? And that's what, again, people want to see. Is the momentum going to be there? Is the hype going to be there? Can we squeeze up to around that $2 mark? So if we can, buyers are going to get excited. SSKN definitely could start getting that, hype and momentum, and start pushing. So SSKN, if that one breaks $2, we could possibly squeeze on up to like $2.45. Just be ready for it. IMNN, not too much. Now SSKN starting to come back on down here slightly. I'm a little surprised SMLR no big move though. SSKN is also still trying to work itself back on up here slightly. Just be ready for that one, especially if we start moving. It might be worth a chance. Might be worth a chance for you to kind of go after an attack. Let's see if it gets any sort more hype. It's starting to build slightly. 180. That 180 break, again, people start getting more excited. Does have room to run, as we know, up towards around 250. The 50-day moving average is right around the price of 190. That's what could hurt it. That 50-day moving average is right around the price of 190. Has to break that 190 mark to be able to squeeze on up towards 250 plus. That's where a lot of traders are going to be very interested over on that play. SSKN, does that one have any shares available to short if we wanted to pull the trigger over there? And I definitely think we could if that one ever started running up towards that like 250 mark. SSKN trying. Is ASST halted? Is that play, halted at this time? Is that why that one's not spiking very big? So that could definitely, let's just, again, I want to take a look right here. NASDAQ trader halts. We do see, again, ASST does have that good news. Okay, so ASST right here, guys, little heads on up, is halted. That is a good press release, currently halted. So you guys can see there's no one trading ASST at this moment. And it did come out with, right here, ASST, that Bitcoin Treasury news. So Bitcoin Treasury news over on ASST, there's a chance that this one spikes back up to $10 plus at the time of 8:30. So just make sure that you guys are fully aware of that one, that it's not that ASST isn't spiking and doesn't have any volume. It's more of the fact that ASST right here is halted and it's not allowed to be traded probably until 8:30. 8:30, this stock is most likely going to be coming unhalted, and that's where you're going to start seeing spikes, rips, runs, and possibly a lot more buying volume going to ASST. So at the time of 8:30, every single person should be watching ASST. Now, we also have SSKN right now trying to get the hype. SSKN, if we get up towards around 240, 250, I will probably look for a short. 240, 250, I'm going to look for a little bit of a short, seeing if that play is going to be able to come right back on down. It doesn't look like it's going to be able to get to that 250 mark so far, team. Does seem like a lot of buying's moving in, though. Or a lot of traders are trying to push this on up. You see, traders are trying to get that hype, trying to push this on up, trying to get that momentum. People are saying to themselves, hey, let's see if we can get something going here. Sometimes, again, you get these little attempted little pumps to just come crashing back on down. And that kind of seems like what SSKN is more. Attempted little spike coming right back on down. All right, so ASST, we're going to watch that in the next 10 minutes. We tried or gave, SSKN some watch here to see if that was going to stay alive. BOXL is not too shabby. QLGN, no. AGRI, no. So let's get ready to go here, traders. Obviously, so jacked up and very excited. Ready to rock and roll, ready to get after it, and ready to go right now. Team, little heads up for traders as well. Right now, for every single person that's watching, for every single person that's listening, right now at this moment, we are going to be having a Tradecaster flash sale for lifetime memberships. So literally right now at this time, if you are listening to this voice and you want to, again, be able to join us every single day for access to Tradecaster, it's $79 a month. Semi-annual, $399. Annual, $799. We do have lifetime membership, which means, again, for as long as I stream, for, again, the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years, that's how much it would be, $3,299. For any single person that's listening right now at this moment, we're going to cut this off by like 60%. If you guys want a lifetime membership this morning, we are going to make it $1,499. So we are going to take off what? $1,700 right now. So if you want a lifetime membership right now, hit up the blue circle, bottom left-hand corner on tradecaster.com or email me at dekmartrades@gmail.com. We're not changing it on the site. I'm not promoting it on social media. I'm just saying it right now on a flash sale. If you want a lifetime membership to Tradecaster, watch me live stream every single day. Yes, you can come over here and have a $79 a month, $39 or again annual. But if you want it for life, $1,400 will have you, again, paying essentially for 2 years for the next 30 years of me teaching, live streaming, being with each other, being part of this community. So hit up the blue circle right now. Hit me up at dekmartrades@gmail.com for a 60% off discount for a lifetime membership at this moment. If you guys are interested, let's get to work and let's have some fun. So get on over here, blue circle right now. Let's get talking. Let's get ready to go for lifetime memberships over on Tradecaster. Let me just let Ryan know. So he's all good. All right. So guys, go hit them on up. Already 3 people hitting them on up, taking advantage of the 60% off discount. Right now, again, just doing it for fun. Just doing it because, again, I want to, support. I want you guys to be able to have a nice discount. I want you guys, if you guys enjoy being part of this community every single day, we're all set, ready to go. So traders, let's see what we have next. We have SSKN. Obviously, we're still watching this play. We do have also, though, let's read this one a little bit more. Let's go over and read this one, the Bitcoin one. So it says, Strive Inc., ASST, and Semler Scientific, SMLR, announced Bitcoin Treasury merger and all-stock transaction. So we do have ASST and SMLR announce a Bitcoin Treasury merger and all-stock transaction. So we do have an agreement. We do have Bitcoin. Let's just see what we have right here, okay? It says, Dallas, Texas, an all-stock transaction. Strive announces the purchase of 5,816 Bitcoin to its corporate treasury at the average price of $116,000 per Bitcoin for the total of $675 million, inclusive of fees. Transaction deals represents approximately 210% premium. We're proud to announce the exciting strategic merger combining 2 pioneer Bitcoin treasury companies. So if you guys, what we have been seeing is a lot of breakouts and spikes and rips and runs from these type of press releases. In the next 7 minutes, ASST will be unhalted. So you might want to be watching ASST at the time of 8:30. That one could wake up and definitely get a big rip and run. Other than that, BOXL, we know had the 8K filing, QLGN right here. QLGN, this one is starting to fade on down. What's AGRI doing? AGRI, unfortunately, just could not hold, guys. AGRI is still just underneath this purple line. If you guys take a look, AGRI is still underneath this purple line, still just being walked down by the downtrend, essentially. Just being walked down by the downtrend. Here we go here, traders. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Let's get ourselves pumped on this day. Let's get ourselves excited on this day, and let's get ourselves ready to make some money on this day. I want to see what we can have in the next few moments here. If AGRI can be able to squeeze on up. Or again, SSKN. Or again, of course, what we have with the next 5 minutes. We do know Quantum's been hot. The S&P 500 is sitting at record highs. And again, BKKT. BKKT is trying to squeeze itself back on up. That's like, as I said, my no-go. I always think about stocks in a silly way. I think about stocks as being in a relationship, right? Or let's imagine you're single and you go out to, let's say, a bar, okay? And you see, let's say, a person that you're attracted to. Let's say I go out to a bar and I see a person that I'm attracted to and I want to go up and say hi. What if I walk up and she says, nope, get out of here, loser? Okay, that's going to hurt. That's going to sting a little bit. What if I walk up again and say, well, can you give me a chance? Get out of here, loser. Okay, 2 times I walked up, I'm done with this girl, right? That's basically how it would work. That's kind of how sometimes I am with my stocks, right? Where it's like, all right, I'm going to give the stock a chance. It didn't work. All right, I'm going to give the stock another chance. It didn't work. For whatever reason, whenever I trade BKKT, again, it's not working. We're not on the same page. We don't have the same, again, connection. And that's all right, right? But I don't like just trying to just say, BKKT, let's short it. BKKT, let's short it. BKKT, and just lose and lose and lose. And I don't like doing that. I don't like putting myself in those positions. So the thing is, maybe if time goes by, a new setup occurs, something like that, that's fine. But I don't want to just constantly be throwing, again, bullets out there, hoping that something hits, hoping I hit a target, right? I don't want to be doing that. So again, BKKT, I might trade this stock later on here today, but I'd rather take a little bit of time, take a step on back, make sure I'm put in on good positions and not just hurting my account. I can make back $2,000. I can't make back, let's say, $9,000. There's something disastrous. So I want to make sure we're doing things right, putting ourselves in the best position and making that money. Right now here, traders, I hope everyone had a wonderful Sunday as well. My Sunday was full of joy and happiness. Why do I say that? Well, honestly, again, my fantasy football team only scored about 60 points this week. They were absolutely awful. The Jets, my team, they lost on a field goal at the very end. Okay, so that was absolutely awful. So no, yesterday was a tough day. But I hope your football team won. I hope your football team was doing well. And I hope your football team was able to make you, again, lots of money. Get you some wins and some points over on your fantasy football leagues. BKKT right here. All right, traders, 827 in the market. Let's start with ASST. ASST here, traders. This stock is known to spike and give a lot back. If you guys take a look over on ASST, it is known to go from $4 to $10 to come back on down to $6. Stock is known to have big gap up and then crash on down. Big gap up, crash on down. ASST can easily spike on up here to $5. If it gets rejected off $5, ASST is going to probably crash right back on down. It does have a good press release. I cannot guarantee how high this play is going to be going up towards, but I will say ASST is going to be a play that we want to be watching. Now, if it does not open up at 8:30, it's probably going to open up at either 8:45 or 9 o'clock, but I'm going to say there's probably a 90% chance that it's going to open up at 8:30. The most risky thing to do, but could be the most reward, is going to be clicking buy the moment it opens. The moment ASST opens, you click buy. And again, you can definitely do that. And that's great because if it only goes up, you're going to have the best entry possible. At the same time, that entry might not only go up. It might, again, come crashing back on down. So ASST does have good news, talks about this Bitcoin merger, have been seeing a lot of hype with Bitcoin mergers. And we'll see if, again, ASST is going to be able to continue to keep getting, any sort of push and rip and run here. So ASST, still watching this one. We got about 1 minute until this one opens on up. I'm thinking about getting involved on this play when it opens and seeing if this one can, be able to make us some quick money and be able to make us some quick cash. Probably do, again, 500 shares at a time. See if we can open, get a little bit of ripping and running. And Dek, what if the stock doesn't really get any sort of hype? If it doesn't really get any sort of hype, you could just move on from the play. But, the thing is with me, I'm always willing to give stocks chances. I'm willing to give a stock a chance. But if it doesn't go my way, you got to move on. I have no problem cutting out of losses. The worst thing I can do is just hold and hope, right? Give stock chances. If they don't work out, you move on. So ASST, let's see if, again, this is going to be able to open on up, bring some buying volume. We could attack it and see if we can make some money over on this play. So ASST right here should be opening on up in about 15 seconds. We should also be seeing news come out in 15 seconds. So stay ready here. Everyone getting after it in 10 seconds here. All right, should be live in 3, 2, 1. ASST. ASST, not live yet, but at least we're seeing some orders. Might be coming out live here, though, very soon. It's not live yet, little heads up. Not live yet, but ASST is at least, we're seeing some orders. Let's see if we get anything else on news, though. We might see some other hot news. We might see, again, at least another hot play here. No voice alerts yet. Nothing big I'm seeing just at this moment. ASST, keep that one on your back burner. No big news at 8:30. We've had, again, about 5 press releases at 8:30. 8:30, 8:30, 8:30, 8:30. We had a lot of news at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, we had a lot of good news. 8:30, though, a little bit weak so far. BOXL still trying to squeeze on up. QLGN, MBX, FLGC, PLTS. Okay, guys, we might have ASST still getting unhalted, you know, maybe in 15 minutes from now. Ooh, just got an XRP press release. Guys, XRP was something I put in earlier. DVLT and BLMZ. BLMZ joins forces to launch the X Club for global XRP community. That's kind of stupid. We're going to launch an XRP community, everybody. Again, XRP, I was looking to see, hey, can we, have an XRP investment, right? But this is saying XRP joins forces to launch the X Club for global XRP community. So basically, again, we have a stock that, is starting a nerd club. But other than that, we just don't have it. So BLMZ, we did have XRP, which I put on in, but, no sort of purchasing of XRP. The thing is, ASST is purchasing. So we'll see what happens over on ASST to see what happens there. Ladies and gentlemen, traders, everyone here, I hope you guys had an absolutely wonderful morning here over on StockTwits. I hope you guys had fun. My time is up, though, unfortunately. I was looking to see if we were going to be able to get an ASST trade. Keep your eyes peeled over on ASST right now at this moment. Also, again, if you guys want, we're doing a 60% off lifetime deal over on TradeCaster for everyone. Hit that on up right now. Get yourself involved. And last but not least here, traders, if you guys need anything at all, please email me at dekmartrades@gmail.com. I'm going live over on TradeCaster, so if you guys want to continue to join the party, come on over here on tradecaster.com so you guys are all set. Make sure you guys go grab yourself some trade ideas, grab yourself Cobra, grab yourself FoxRunner. Make sure that you guys are all ready to go. We got a big day ahead, a lot of opportunity. Let's have some fun. Let's get ready to make some money, and I'll see you guys then. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Thank you, StockTwits, and I appreciate everyone.